Yo, what's good? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's Mood Monday. It's your boy Diesel, and we're going to jump straight into this one. This is about giving your best. If you've ever heard the book, The Four Agreements, this is where I first learned this or read this idea. And the more that I thought about it, the more it made sense. And I also heard the statement, if you're looking forward, you're living in the future. If you're looking backwards, you're living in the past. And if that's the things you're thinking about things you can't change or you can't control, right? Because we're living in the here and the now. So just think about this. Your best is your anchor point, right? Because most people don't regret the best they ever did. They regret their failures, right? And you don't just regret the failure, you regret the times that you didn't go all in. You feel me? Because a lot of the time when we fail, we're sitting and looking back at all the things we didn't do right, right? So you didn't go all in. If you know you could have did things better or you could have did more, that means you didn't do your best. You feel me? So the times you hesitated, the times you let being afraid stop you, whatever held you back is when you didn't do your best. If you gave everything, win or lose, you could live with that because you couldn't have done anything else. You feel me? If I know I spent every single dollar I had on trying to make it happen and it still didn't happen or it still didn't go right, well, I know I tried my best. So I can do better, but I have to learn more first. And I can't be mad at myself about something I didn't know because at the time I did everything I knew to do. You feel me? So you're not going to regret trying. There's peace in knowing you emptied out the tank. But if you only give half of it and then you fail, and it falls apart, you're going to be wondering what could have happened if I had gave it all, if I did my best. That wonder is what turns into regret. So always give your best now so your future doesn't carry a whole bunch of what ifs and why didn't I's and if onlys. And that's when you're going to look mad and sad because you know you didn't do what you could have done or you should have done. And why you shouldn't look in the past is because why you shouldn't look towards the future too much and worry about the future is if you look back, you're going to live in regret and you're going to be sad. You feel me? And you're going to possibly become depressed. You feel me? But if you look towards the future too much, you're going to become anxious. You're going to become stressed out. And when people get anxious and stressed out, they're not fun to be around. You're taking the fun out of this moment by replacing it with worry about the next moment, right? So anxiety does not come from what's actually happening. It comes from what might happen, from overthinking things and looking forward. You feel me? From looking into the worst case scenario over and over and over like a broken record. And after you do that, you begin stressing yourself out over the future that you can only control if you prepare yourself. You feel me? Stressing does not prepare you. It paralyzes you. It makes you stop. But every minute you spend worrying about what might go wrong, is the same minute you can spend about getting ready for that situation or worrying about what will go right or getting better so whatever might go wrong doesn't. You feel me? If you spend the time getting better at what you're already doing, you're building your strength, you're learning, and you're thinking of ways to get around whatever it is that you're afraid of. That's actually being powerful and being present in the moment because that's where the energy belongs, right there in the moment. What am I going to do? So I know that I need this for that in the future. And if I don't have that, I'll fail or it'll be bad. So how do I get that? What can I do today to get that? Or if I can't get it today, what do I need to build in order to get it? Say you need something that costs $1,000 and you have 3 months. All right, bet. What is $1,000 divided by 90 days? You feel me? How much money do I need to save every day? All right, bet I might not save money every day. So how much money do I need to save every week? All right, I need to save, what is it? 1,090? That's almost like $15 a day, $20 a day, something like that. Now I want to do the math. I got to do the math real quick. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm just that guy. I think I'm close, but I want to know the actual number. So $1,000 is roughly 90 days because it's almost $10 a day. So $11 a day, right? So $11 a day times 7 days a week is $77. So about 80 bucks. About 80 bucks a week I need to pull in order to save $1,000 in 3 months. What can I do to make 80 bucks? Or if you want to lump it all together and say times 4, so that's $320. Every month I need to make $300. Well, 1 week you can make $200. You feel me? I'll sell all of this stuff and you just made $300 in 1 week. You're a third of the way there and you're still in the first month because you thought of a way to get it done. I need this money. How can I get this money? I know I can sell X, Y, or Z for X amount of money, right? I can make bracelets and sell these bracelets for $10 a piece. That means I need to sell about 10 bracelets a day, or I can sell these bracelets for $30 a piece and I make 3 days worth of money with one bracelet. So if I sell 3 or 4 bracelets, that's all my money for the week. So I only need to sell about 20 bracelets a month to get it out. You feel me? Think of ways to get it done and take action, build. Because once you start thinking of ways to get it done, you'll start doing stuff and now you can move forward. And now you have a whole nother way to make money. You're thinking about how can I make some money or I need this money. And now you just made a business if you keep it up. And so don't live in the past, don't live in the present, because looking back too long will just rob you of what you could be looking ahead to. You feel me? It'll rob you of the future. And if you start replaying everything you wish you'd done different, you're just going to be sad about everything that you didn't do right. And it becomes a hindrance. You learn from it. You don't keep thinking about it unless you're trying to think about what to do differently. Because if not succeeding hurt, if failing hurt, you're going to be living your life in a place of hurt and of what hurt you because you keep reliving it. The past is not home. It's a reference, not a residence. Visit to learn, but leave as quickly as you can. Learn the lesson as quickly as you can because all you can change is now, and perfection is never going to happen. So you will never get everything right. That's part of the joy and the beauty, because even if it did go good, if it went well, now you know what to do again. But how can we make this better? We're here to try. We're here to evolve. The human species has done what over time? Evolve. The iPhone comes out with new versions. What? Why? Because they're getting better. So they started somewhere. So you just got to start somewhere. And then you look at all the failures to move forward. If Steve Jobs looked at his first job working on computers and said, dang, this wasn't meant to happen, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you like this right now because I'm using an iMac and an iPhone simultaneously. You feel me? So his first failure didn't keep him from getting to this point of evolution. Some days your best means doing more than you wanted to do, right? And that's something I want to say is also important. Your best looks different at different times, but that's the beauty of it. Because if you know you're underfed, underslept, and overworked, and you still got pretty close, now you know that you're able to do it if all the right circumstances are there. Create the space for those circumstances. You feel me? Now you know how close you are. You feel me? But if you say, oh, I'm not going to do it today because I'm tired, now you have more to do when you are up to your best. And that means you're putting the future work and the past work together. And now you're judging how good you are based on overloading yourself. So some days you need to rest so you don't overload yourself in the long run. But on other days, you have to find that balance of, okay, I've done this much. There's this much left to do, and I have this much time. But don't let your standard be perfection. You feel me? Because you might spend so much time getting one thing perfect that you put 50 things on the back burner. And now you have way more to get through. So do the best you can for what you know and submit it. Don't let perfection hold you back. And don't let thinking about the work tomorrow keep you from doing the work today. You don't have to have all the answers today. If you know you don't know the end point, that's fine. Because once you get the first steps done, you have no choice but to finish what you don't know. But always show up honestly. You feel me? Don't beat yourself up because you didn't get as much done today as you did yesterday. You know that you were underslept. You feel me? You had something random pop up. Yesterday you finished all the work you had to do, and then somebody randomly asked you to do something and you said yes because you're a good person. And now you got to bed late. You feel me? The circumstances aren't the same every day. You might be sick today. You might have the flu today. You might have gotten into an argument with somebody. You feel me? And I'm not saying to let your emotions keep you from doing the work. No, you show up, but you show up with what you have. You show up with where you are, and you're honest about it. Because if you're honest with yourself about it, you beat yourself up later. You'll be like, oh, dang, I didn't do it at all because I didn't feel good. You'll be mad. But if you say, I tried to get it done and I did as much as I could, you'll be proud of the fact that you tried. And that's another thing, building a sense of pride in yourself. Building that muscle in yourself that lets you know, I can do this. I can do this. You feel me? Because the more you try and the more you look forward to things and you take lessons from the past, you say, all right, well, I was involved in this situation, so I can get involved in that situation again. But I want a different outcome, so what do I do differently? And then you go do that. That's where we have to get to be, the doing it different part, not the sitting and thinking about what we didn't do right. So always live in the now and live in the action. Live in what you can do. Live in what you can change. You feel me? We don't want to look in the past and be stressed out about what we didn't do and be regretful and get sad and full of regrets. And we don't want to look in the future and get anxious and get stressed out and get overloaded about things that haven't even happened yet. You feel me? It's like you can't change the past and you can't change a future that isn't happened yet. You feel me? You can change a future that hasn't happened yet by being prepared for it and doing it differently. You can't change the future, but you can prepare for it. So prepare instead of perpetually thinking about it.